Hey, what is up? Hopefully, you are having a great day. Last day of the year. How cool is that? Want to go over today? I just got a question from somebody that asked, "Hey, I'm doing XYZ things, and I'm curious what your thoughts are. Is this going to help me do whatever?" And so, if you guys are following me and you're new here, again, my name is Chris. I'm an online fitness expert that helps people lose weight, keep it off long term. I've got like 1,000 new people that are following me, which is so cool. So, I want to just do a quick intro. Hopefully you see this too. I know that these sorts of videos now are just not being pushed out as much. So if you do see this, please make sure you like and comment on it so more of the people that do follow me can see it, because this is important, especially because there's 1,000 of you within the last month to start following me. So that'd be really cool. Cool? Is that cool if you could do that for me? Thank you so much. It's not helping anybody but the people that are watching this. Now, I blurred out the person's name. We're gonna go over their question and see what sort of things we can come of it. Okay. Now I'm gonna give you this. Not that there's negative or positive. I'm just gonna give you in this. My real goal is to go over maybe a plan that's out there, see what the positives are, see what things we can improve on or the negatives, and some things that we can do to kind of get some clarity on some next steps. Okay. So let's dive in. So somebody messaged me, hey, I'm 55 years young, 163 pounds, largest I've ever been is 165, 5'2", want to lose 20 pounds. First, we're going to say definitely can lose more than that. At 5'2", you probably can lose 40 pounds and get away with it. And quite honestly, and still probably have some muscle to gain. So that's something maybe that we could consider of saying, all right, we got 20 pounds to lose. Let's probably push for a little bit more so we can fit in a more healthy body fat range in BMI. Okay. And I know some people are like, well, BMI, there's new things where now BMI is racist. It's not, whatever. But BMI doesn't fit everybody. It does, though. Like you probably watching this, you probably don't have the muscle mass of LeBron James or Marshawn Lynch or an NFL lineman. So you probably fit nice and pretty into the BMI category. You probably don't have so much muscle that it would push you over into that. Okay. But I have a gym membership, Planet Fitness. They have a 30-minute circuit, have it committed to any exercise plan. But will this help me tone up? I did try it a couple of times. I've started with about 5 to 10 pounds. This way, that way I wouldn't hurt myself. I figured any movement is good since my job is at a desk all day. Also, I'm starting back on my Weight Watchers app. Weight Watchers allows me a variety of ways to lose without taking away treats at times. Thank you for reading. Happy New Year. Of course, my friend. Of course. I'm going to keep it nice and anonymous as possible. Okay. So let's first look. I have a gym membership, Planet Fitness, want to lose 30 pounds. Now, actually, we're gonna start with what sort of order of operations should we look at as far as reaching goals. Specifically, this one. This is a weight loss goal. So first order of operations, we look at what are the 4 things that we need to pull the levers in order for us to lose weight. There's 4 of them. First one, fitness. Second one, NEAT. Third one, nutrition. Fourth one, lifestyle. Okay, and within those, there's little mini things that we can do to adjust them, but those are the big 4. So when looking at this, I go, okay, first step, nutrition. Obviously, if we're overweight, we're eating too much, which is okay. You're probably not eating a bunch of bull crap, but you're eating too much, hence why you've gained weight, right? Not saying you're eating treats or you're driving through McDonald's 5 days a week or something, but you're overeating somewhere. So nutrition, big one. Second one is, I don't know your lifestyle, because in lifestyle encompasses like behavior patterns, processes, protocols, habits, those sort of things. So without having a conversation, that's the biggest piece of the puzzle. So without having a conversation, what that looks like, I have no clue of what we need to do to adjust that. But we're looking at, hey, any activity is better since I have a desk job. Activity, walking more. So getting a pedometer of some kind and using that would be humongous, and I'll show you why in just a second. Okay. Then last piece is doing some fitness. So in order of operations, first thing we're going to look at is nutrition. Second one is activity. Third one is fitness. Fitness is at the top, not because it's the most important, because it's the least important. And I'll show you with math. Okay. So let's look at the first one, Weight Watchers. Okay. Now I know enough, but I don't know too much. So if you are watching this and you're like, that's wrong, please correct me. I would want nothing more than to be right with this. When it comes to Weight Watchers, I remember somebody talking about some of their stuff. So I did some research and I found something that quite honestly make me go, I don't know about these things. Let me pull up what I got on here. That is the 0-point food list. Okay. And so I was reading it and I see that there's foods on here. Weight Watchers clinical trial show that you can eat 0-point foods without tracking or measuring, still lose weight, no matter which color you're on. That I've got a massive problem with. Okay. Let's turn and look why. 6-month pre-post study conducted by whatever, funded by Weight Watchers. So immediately you go, red flags are spinning when somebody who runs a clinical trial that is funded by them to prove that their stuff works, that shows clear sign that it is probably not accurate and probably not trustworthy. Okay. And also, without tracking or measuring and still lose weight. That, from a scientific standpoint, is an impossibility. That is not how this thing works. Just in general, you cannot, there's no foods that you can go, I can eat whatever I want, however much of them, and have no problems. And on that, later on that page too, it does say, hey, you shouldn't, it doesn't mean you should eat 6 bananas a day, but there's 0 points. So if you are hungry, you could, right? So let's look at this food list, because I looked up that as well, of course. There's a 200 point. This is on, looks like there's different plans. This is the blue plan. Don't know what any of this stuff means. It seems to be like, if I had to guess, where like your body fat or goal weight or current weight sits, and that kind of moves you to the right direction. Either way, okay? We look here. Any beans, you can eat as much as you would like. Now, it says on there, there must be some term that they use in Weight Watchers called dig in. I think that must mean that you can eat. Dig in is eat, I would imagine. So eat whatever much, but you shouldn't eat all of them is what they say. You shouldn't eat all of them, but you could eat as much of these as you'd like because they don't count towards your points. So reason why I have a problem with that is all these, although these do have protein in them, right? Edamame has quite a bit of protein in it. Chickpeas does, black beans. There's also a lot of calories in these things. Ground beef, ground chicken, turkey, great. Egg whites, great. And now I'm not even looking at the food choices here because the food choice is irrelevant, right? I'm strictly looking at, okay, if there's 0 points, and I don't know how the numbers work here, but let's say you get 7 points for the day or something, 3 points for the day, whatever it is. And you were to be like, all right, cool. I'm going to eat 7 points of cranberries or whatever is cranberries on this list. Dang it, it is. I'm going to eat 7 points of pizza. And then for the rest of the day, because I'm going to be starving because I wasted all of my points on something that's really high calorie and low satiety, I'm just going to snack on pears the rest of the day. Okay. Not a smart move, not a strategic move, not one that's going to get you the results that you want. You've got to have a little bit more strategy in how you're moving your food around. Proteins, fats, carbs are how you play the game. And so if we don't have a ceiling, and again, I don't know enough about this. And so if I'm wrong, please just correct me. If we don't have an idea of how much protein we're consuming per day, we will then not know if we are maintaining muscle mass to the best of our ability. That's number one. If we're eating however much carbs and fats based on a point system that doesn't give us clear protein and fat carb amounts, then we're just consuming calories. Why is that important? Because when you're gaining weight, if you're not losing weight and you're eating too much, you're gaining weight from calories and overeating calories. And if there's things that you don't have to count and just do this with, it's never a good thing. Even in my program, when we run the hand method, I don't have a do whatever you want calorie wise, okay? Because it just doesn't work. And because gluttony in any sort of fashion is not good, okay? Even if it's gluttony of vegetables, okay? Not that you would ever do that, probably. No one's ever like, put down the kale. You know, no one's ever said that in the history of the world, probably. Maybe the Jeanette's in my program. She eats kale like freaking going out of style. She loves it, okay? Here's why. So we took the weight of this woman, okay, 163 pounds. We put it in this calculator. This is a MET calculator, okay? METs are called metabolic equivalents. And this is kind of diving into nutrition and fitness at the same time, okay? So we dive it in. All I'm doing is figuring out her weight in kilograms so I can do the math for these things. Metabolic equivalents are essentially giving us a rough estimate of how many calories you're burning from exercise during a set amount of time based on your weight. The heavier you are, and if you're running, it's harder, so you burn more calories, right? And so if we look here, oh, this one's wrong. Let me hurry and see if I can fix this real quick. I4. Calories per minute. G9. I4, G9. Multiply by I7. Oh, no, excuse me. That's right. I saw the wrong thing. Never mind. We're good. So you see here the thing she's doing, the 30-minute circuit. Now, I've seen that circuit. Okay, it's not quite conditioning, and it's not quite exercise. So I'm going to just change this to 6. Metabolic equivalent means it's not exercise and doing 3 sets of 10, but it's not quite doing 45 seconds of high-intensity movement. It's pretty moderate, okay? So in those 30 minutes that she's doing this workout, she's burning 222 calories. Now, if we take the same calories and equate that to just food in general, that is probably a serving of rice, we'll call it. Actually, it's a little bit less than a serving of rice, okay? And so if we're like, okay, cool, I'm doing this, and then I have these foods in my plan that are 0 points, and a serving of rice is about the size of your fist. If I eat a couple of 0-point things, it's literally erasing your workout because you're not tracking them. It's not taking away from the total amount of food you're consuming. Probably not a smart move. Instead, what we want to do is make some simple trades. Look at this. If you had rice and you switch it for cauliflower, because we know the calorie count, you're literally able to save 315 calories, which for this, it doesn't even go near erasing your food amounts. You see what I'm saying? And so you can't just go, okay, I'm going to eat kind of whatever, there's 0 calorie anythings. So with it, this thing could work. It could work for you, but there's a lot of things that you have to do. Excuse me, I got like a hair right by my nose. There's a lot of things that you have to do on your end to ensure that it works. And if you're not sure how to play the game, it's going to be a little bit rough. First thing is I would find a way to count these 0-point things in your food. Okay, being fully aware of what you're consuming and what they count towards as far as calories, protein, fat, carb content goes is going to be key to your success in general. So anything that lets you do this with food, never a good sign, because for you to combat that with fitness is really challenging. As you can see, literally doing conditioning for 30 minutes is not even calories for a serving of rice that you eat over. And so you see how if you're like, I'm going to have a cheeseburger, but I'm going to try to work it off. You would even at 30 minutes running 10-minute miles, you still couldn't do it. You still couldn't do it. You would have to run. Let's see how long you'd have to work out at running 10-minute miles. No, not quite 60. 45 minutes. You'd have to run for roughly 45 minutes at a 10-minute mile pace, which for some of us really challenging. Other people, not very challenging. Okay. But you'd have to do that to burn the calories of a cheeseburger. Where instead, and here's the thing, I'm not saying you can't eat that stuff. What I'm saying is if you know how to count it in your food beforehand, you won't need to burn it off. You see what I'm saying? You don't have to go to that extent because it doesn't matter. You wouldn't have to worry about that. Okay. So that's number one. Avoid any of those things. I think that's for me, it's a giant red flag, a giant one. Second is doing some sort of circuit training. If you're unsure how to do it, smart move. Okay. Doing activity is great. And maybe finding a way to improve and understand how exercise works in general would be a vast improvement. Okay. If you'd like some info on that, my friend, if I'm going to send this to you, I'd love to be able to help you. Okay. I'd love to be able to kind of point you in the right direction for that. Second is I would find a pedometer of some kind, get an Apple Watch or something, Fitbit, something like that. And I would find ways to improve my walking and activity. Here's why. As you can see, your workout is burning roughly 220 calories per time that you do it. Walking, when you hit 10,000 steps a day, it burns 500 calories. And this isn't walking like on a treadmill. Notice, I'm walking right here. I'm doing my little do-si-do in my office. I'm at just about 1,000 steps per day, which is extremely low. I'm actually very disappointed when I saw that. I'm like, gosh, I'm only 1,000. So I'm going to go for a walk right now to go get my food. So I'm going to do stuff so I can be more active, so I can burn more calories. And also, like for every 2 hours you sit down, it negates 20 minutes of exercise. So if you have a desk job where you're sitting down the majority of the day, you're going to have to work out a lot and do a lot more movement just in general. So fitness, gain a better understanding for it. If you need something for that, I got you. Just message me back and I'll send it to you. Second thing is I would make sure that any sort of or the steps thing, I would do that. And then the third thing, the most important thing is I understand where Weight Watchers has the 0 point thing and you have these certain number of stuff. I would say, like, I would much rather teach you how to understand how this game works with macros so that, like, you can have variety and still eat treats. You can have both. It's just if you like the Weight Watchers way has this, in my opinion, a massive flaw, although clearly it works. People lose weight on it, right? But in my opinion, massive flaw in their philosophy of eating 0 point stuff. I think that's a big misstep on them. And it kind of plays into the reason why people get overweight. Again, I say this with love, is overeating. And so giving somebody hey, you have this stuff, you can eat 0 points, eat whatever you want from it, and you're fine. Although I can see the intention, I think from a psychological standpoint, it's not the right move. I think it's actually detrimental to long-term health. But I can see it that it does work for some. So that's great too. But I think would be a much better solution is to actually learn how it works. I've taught this stuff to my kids. They're 4 and 7, and I talk to them how proteins, fats, and carbs work and why you need to have moderate amounts of both of them or the right amounts of all of them. And I could teach you how to do that. Like we can go through that entire process together. So with that being said, I know this is a really long-winded thing, but I wanted to make sure I got it out. If you saw this, make sure that you like and comment so other people can see it too, please. That'd be cool. Like there's 1,000 new people that are following me and Facebook doesn't post this stuff out to people for whatever reason. So help a brother out. I'd very much appreciate that. And otherwise, that's all I got for you today. Have a great day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.